in this debate, he showed a really strong leadership. He was able to highlight his record as governor of Minnesota, and at the same time, he was able to contrast himself against the major candidates and their differences. And the differences, with Michelle Bachmann and the differences with Mitt Romney are especially clear right now, I think, to a lot of Iowans. And he made that very clear in this debate tonight.
Was that the key effort here, was to show that he could throw a punch?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think in politics it's a rough and tumble business, and I think part of the criticism coming out of the last debate is that he appeared to be unwilling. I think he just because he wasn't willing to walk up to Mitt Romney and say, Obamacare, doesn't necessarily mean he's not strong. But at the same time, I think he was very willing to contrast against the key opponents in this debate, and I think he did a really good job of setting forth his record, what he will do as president, and demonstrating why he would make the best opponent for Obama in the fall elections in 2012.
Is that Minnesota nice reputation holding him back, or is that a problem for him? And is he moving away from that? From what we've
I mean, you know what? I lived 6 years in Minnesota before I moved back home to Iowa. And what I will tell you about Minnesotans is, I mean, it is, they prefer not to say bad things about fellow human beings. But, at the same time, this is politics, and you got to draw a pretty stark contrast. And I think he did that tonight. I think he succeeded in demonstrating both policy differences and, most importantly, experience differences. We have some candidates that just have either not led on the issues or have, quite frankly, been on the same side as President Obama on the important issues of the day.
Can I get your name?
Yeah, Matt Whitaker. I'm his state chair here in Iowa.
Jason Noble, the Des Moines Register.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, good to see you.
Matt, Ed from Hot Air.
Hey, how are you? I've read your stuff.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Are you concerned that people are going to react poorly to Pawlenty's attacking Michelle Bachmann during the course of the debate?
Well, I mean, if you want to call that an attack, I know you've spent some time in Minnesota. I mean, it was a very clear contrast, and what Governor Pawlenty was making clear is that you either led and been an executive and made the hard decisions and been there, or you've just kind of, as he says, flap your jaw, and you can take extreme positions, but if you're not getting anything done and you're not convincing people that you're right on the issues, then what kind of leadership is that?
Big strategy tonight to come out swinging, going on offense right from the beginning.
Well, I think out of the last debate, there was some criticism for not being willing to get in the brawl, and I think tonight, Governor Pawlenty showed that side. I mean, I think we saw a little bit of his hockey come out, and I think it did him well. I think he was able to show that he could stand toe-to-toe with anybody and defend his record, and at the same time present a fairly clear vision. I mean, he's got the most detailed agenda and plan for America of any of these candidates that are up there, and he's posted it all on his website if anybody cares to see it. He's given these speeches all over the country on the economy, on the budget, on the life and pro-family agenda that he stands for. So I mean, he is the most serious and sincere candidate that's in this race that has actually been an executive and led for 8 years.
He came out contrasting his record with Michelle Bachmann and with Mitt Romney, two of the front runners in the race. Did not really address any of the other candidates in the race. Is that part of the strategy as well, to just sort of focus on the people that
Ed is a sophisticated political analyst. You should know that. I mean, obviously you look at the polls and you see who's doing well, and I think at the same time you also look who you match up against. Certainly, ultimately it ends up being a 1, 2, 3 person election, and Governor Pawlenty needs to get in there and be strong and continue the momentum that we've had and continue to be gaining especially over the last month, but really over the last 6 months to a year that we've been working here in Iowa.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.